Hello out there. Welcome to the No Shit Cast. I'm your host, Matt Frazier. And another interesting couple days here in the news. Articles worthy of the prestige of being on the No Shit Cast, ladies and gentlemen. We kick this off from Unilad. This comes from author Julia Banham. Eating beaver is an aphrodisiac, Polish minister claims. So you understand why I couldn't pass this up, right? From an intimate dinner of oysters and champagne to a bowl of strawberries dipped in dark chocolate, such culinary pleasures have helped set the mood for romance for many a steamy evening in. However, could it be that your better half should actually be tucking into a nice, juicy beaver when the time comes to fan the flames of passion? Now the sight of this large semi-aquatic rodent doesn't exactly scream throes of ecstasy to me, but maybe I'm missing out on a loin-burning treat here. Polish agricultural minister Jan Krzysztof Andronowski has raised a few eyebrows after hailing beaver flesh to be an aphrodisiac during a statement at an agricultural conference. Andronowski reportedly made these remarks in Parliament while calling for beavers to be added to a list of edible animals along European bison. As reported by the BBC, these comments sparked puzzlement amongst conference attendees as there is no such list of edible animals. Furthermore, in Poland, it is the environment minister, not the agricultural minister, who decides which species receive legal protection. Beavers are partially protected under the 1979 Berne Convention on the Conservation of European Wildlife and Natural Habitats and are regarded to be a vulnerable species. Since this protection was implemented, numbers have risen to 55,000. Beavers in Poland have partial protection and can be killed between the months of October and March under certain circumstances. However, the hunter is currently not permitted to eat the beaver's body. Andronowski believes being allowed to chow down on some beaver meat will help tackle what he describes as a beaver problem. He has stressed how these animals need regulating to stop them from damaging agricultural land. That's true, but if there are less of them, but yeah, nothing screams aphrodisiac like munching on some beaver, folks, according to this minister in Poland. This comes from USA Today. Lightning struck a motorcyclist in where else? Florida, cracking his helmet and causing his death. Him dying's not funny. Someone getting struck by lightning on a motorcycle in Florida is, well, gallows funny, I guess. Authorities in Florida say lightning struck a motorcyclist on a Florida interstate, causing a crash and his untimely death. The Florida Highway Patrol tells news outlets that the lightning strike hit the driver Sunday afternoon as he rode south on Interstate 95, cracking the 45-year-old's now burning helmet and sending him off the roadway. He was pronounced dead at the scene in East Central Florida. Florida troopers say an off-duty Virginia State trooper witnessed the lightning strike and its aftermath. WOGX-TV say authorities confirmed the motorcyclist was a 45-year-old from Charlotte, North Carolina. His identity was not immediately released. I feel really bad for the gentleman and getting struck by lightning, but the thought that his helmet was on fire... Like, what's that character? No, I can't think of it. Motorcycle guy that's like from hell and is on flames all the time. This comes from CNET. Burger King's vegan Impossible Whopper makes its way to San Francisco. And I'm going to back up and read that again. Burger King's vegan Impossible Whopper makes its way to San Francisco. Here comes fast food's meatless meat. That's not a thing. As expected, the expansion has begun. Burger King's Vegetarian Impossible Whopper debuts Monday in more than 100 stores across the San Francisco Bay Area. Before today, people who wanted to eat the fast food chain's version of the plant-based flame-grilled burger had to travel to Miami, Columbus, or Montgomery. The Impossible Whopper is made by Impossible Foods, which is known for its vegan burger that tastes a lot like real beef. Bet it don't. Founded in 2011, the company was first to use a key ingredient called heme, a blood-like compound found in all living things, and that can replicate the taste, color, and aroma of meat. Maybe I'm wrong. Other ingredients include plant-based products like soy, potato protein, and coconut oil. Companies making similar meatless meat products included Beyond Meat, New Wave Foods, and even Nestle. Burger King's goal is to offer the plant-based protein Impossible Whopper nationwide by the end of the year. I don't even know if I'm going to try this thing. Quote, anywhere any meat product is sold globally, we want to have better products, Brown said. A non-trivial fraction of meat sales overall are in fast food restaurants. Yeah, non-trivial. That's a good word. You could say that again, I guess. This comes from Unilad. Man arrested after robbing 2 banks using an avocado. A man from southern Israel is now facing charges of aggravated robbery after committing 2 bank robberies using an avocado disguised as a grenade. The 47-year-old man from the village of Bedouin reportedly stole NIS 30,000 or over 6,600 francs, I guess. I don't know how much that is in U.S. dollars. From 2 banks based in the city of Beersheba, all with the help of this much sneered at symbol of millennial breakfast decadence. The man reportedly was able to steal the money by painting the avocado black and pretending it was a grenade. He told cashiers he would throw the grenade if they didn't hand over the cash quickly. The unusual crime happened in mid-May and began with the unnamed man entering a shopping mall-based branch of the postal bank and slipping a misspelled note across the counter. This is definitely not an avocado, the note reportedly said. As reported by the Times of Israel, the note read, hand over the money in the drawer. However, the Hebrew word for drawer had been misspelled or had been spelled incorrectly. Put the money in the bag quickly or I'll throw this grenade. The grenade he was referring to was a round black object he had clutched in his right hand, although we now know that this was an avocado. At the time, it appeared as if he was brandishing an actual grenade. I get that. He painted it black, but the man then proceeded to leave the branch with more than 6,500 francs or 3,500 francs in stolen cash. However, this wouldn't be the last time he used this very same tactic to deceive cashiers. Just 5 days later, he headed to another branch of the postal bank, this time at the Oren Center shopping area. Once again, the man wielded the blackened avocado and threatened to blow up the bank if the money wasn't handed over. This time he left the branch with $2,600, pounds, whatever, in cash. So here you go, man. If you ever get desperate enough, I don't recommend robbing a bank with an avocado. That's a real quick way to get yourself killed. So this happened this week. This is from Maxim. Justin Bieber challenged Tom Cruise to a UFC fight for some reason, and Conor McGregor is now involved. So, yeah, this is a thing now. For some reason, pop superstar Justin Bieber has, perhaps jokingly, challenged Tom Cruise to a fight inside the UFC octagon. Quote, I want to challenge Tom Cruise to a fight in the octagon, Bieber 25 tweeted on Sunday. Tom, if you don't take this fight, you're scared and you will never live it down. Who is willing to put on the fight at Dana White? It's unclear just what mysterious beef Bieber has with the 56-year-old Top Gun actor, but Cruise is famed for his athletic prowess, often doing his own death-defying stunts on movie sets. Bieber's inexplicable tweet quickly went viral, prompting former UFC champion inveterate shit stirrer Conor McGregor to jump in with an offer to host the fight. Quote, if Tom Cruise is man enough to accept this challenge, McGregor Sports and Entertainment will host the bout. He wrote on Twitter, does Cruise have the sprouts to fight like he does in the movie? Stay tuned to find out. The outspoken Irishman then called on Mark Wahlberg to compete against him in a fight of their own. Quote, I challenged Mark Wahlberg on the very same card. Back when Wahlberg was Marky Mark, I'd have still slapped the ears off of him and took my UFC shares back, he wrote. But despite bizarrely confident call out, most weren't too bullish on his chances against the 56-year-old actor, like the online sports betting community odds shark, who responded to his tweet with, quote, "We don't like your odds, Justin." So this is happening. There's a part of me that doesn't want to see this at all, but there's a big part of me that would just love to watch this happen. So I picked this article because of my kids. This comes from CNET. Meet the angry gaming YouTubers who turn outrage into views. The video game world is no stranger to controversy, but a new class of YouTube commentators is turning anger into influence. How to make a successful video on one of the internet's most popular sites. Step 1, find something to be angry about. Go to online forums, track what's hot on Twitter, and figure out the outrage of the day. Step 2, rant into a camera for 10 minutes. Step 3, profit. Welcome to 2019, where some influential gamers on YouTube have learned what many others, including the President of the United States, have figured out. Anger sells, and it sells big. Starting last year, a new cadre of negative YouTube gaming commentators came to prominence, almost in unison. They each enjoyed spikes in audience and view counts, attracting hundreds of thousands of subscribers that translated into millions of views a week, and they dissected the video game industry's missteps, misadventures, and controversies. The views get rewarded by YouTube in ad dollars. Their negativity comes in many forms. Some YouTubers produce a stream of video criticizing every imaginable fault a game could have: visual bugs, awkward controls, stupid storylines. Others obsess over game developers' attempt to fix glitches. There are commentators who rail against efforts to upsell players, who typically shell out $60 for a game. These microtransactions, as they are known, can include different character designs, new looks for weapons, and additional stories, and are a source of constant irritation for vocal commentators who see them as a ripoff. Others veer into criticism of outspoken game company executives. Some attacks get personal, criticizing members of the gaming community for their looks or perceived political beliefs. The Electronic Entertainment Expo, known as E3, will likely prompt all of the above when it kicks off in Los Angeles next week. There's no single formula, and the YouTubers have taken different tacks, such as high production videos with formal scripts or off-the-cuff rambling, but all rely on the same strategy: getting the audience angry. Fuck yeah, folks, man. That's what it's all about today is, boy, just get a microphone and get people pissed off, which is why I don't do it. And it's super simple. I mean, it's not even like you could totally, at any given time, you can Google hashtags. You can see what hashtags are trending, and then all you got to do is just do a show or content around trending hashtags, and bam, you could easily turn something. And if it's all you're looking for is downloads, just get pissed and look for the hashtags, man, and off you go. But I don't know that you maintain an audience that way or build any kind of relationship with your audience that way. Well, you build a relationship of anger with them, that's for damn sure, but not for me. But I've been speculating and talking about this being a thing now for years, this sort of rage industry, and yuck and yikes, man. It's not pleasant. This comes from Popular Science. The moon keeps flashing us, and we have no idea why, but some answers might finally be on the way. If you stare at the moon hard enough with a powerful telescope, you'll notice something bizarre happening on the surface. Flashes of light will burst out momentarily, then vanish just as inexplicably fast. Humans have claimed to have witnessed this for at least 8,000 years, and modern astronomers have documented the phenomena since the later half of the 20th century. Dubbed transient lunar phenomenon, we've seen it over and over and over without any real understanding for its cause. We might finally have answers soon enough. Hakan Kyle, an astronomer based at the University of Würzburg in Bavaria, Germany, is currently in the midst of a project that might reveal what's spurring these shifts in light and darkness on the moon, thanks to a new lunar telescope system run out of an observatory 60 miles north of Seville, Spain. Thought still under development, the system has been operational since April and is already raising hopes that we are on the cusp of solving a decades-long mystery of the moon. According to Kyle, the TLP flashes are typically just that, bursts of light that appear and disappear within a second or two, although the literature also documents some longer lasting observations that brighten the surface for minutes or even hours. The spikes in light have been previously described as a sort of sparkle, often red or pink in hue, that stretch out for 10 miles in diameter. Astronomers nowadays typically see them happening several times a week. In rare instances, these light changes sometimes result in darkened patches popping up on the surface. The most popular explanation for what's causing this phenomenon, says KL, are meteorite impacts, the release of gas or vapors, perhaps through moonquakes, but that can cloud the surface and reflect light abnormally. Electrostatic discharge due to interactions with the solar wind, and light emission caused by rock fracturing. The first confirmed observations of TLP was back in 1958 by a Russian astronomer. Over the next few decades, other astronomers using more powerful instruments would continue to see the aberrations of light and brightness flicker off the surface of the moon. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's get to the shit where it goes. But the Neolite observations have helped to renew interest among scientists to study TLP, and that's where the KL's project come in. He describes a new telescope as a low-budget system combining two telescope tubes on a single mount, both equipped with cameras connected to two different computers. Let's go. Quote, I'm really excited to see how KL's project goes, says Cook. Be a really great source to help check out any future amateur astronomer reports of TLP that we receive from this time to time. And the study of these flashes is coming as possibly the most opportune and significant moment. Yeah. Kyle and his colleagues hope the system becomes fully... Okay, this is nothing. It's just telling me that they're beginning to look for it. You still have no idea why. Fuck you, popular science. Ugh. Anyway, astronomers discovered deep structure under moon's largest crater. I don't know if I'm going to do another moon one. Team of astronomers found a large excess of mass under the moon's largest crater, like a relic from an ancient asteroid impact event, but perhaps something much stranger. The strange mass extends to depths of more than 300 kilometers, according to researchers' paper. How do they know that? They get up there and drill it? Which was published in the Journal of Geophysics. Moon magma, blah. Nah, fuck the moon. We're done with the moon for tonight. Okay. Here's an interesting one, though. This comes from The Verge, but I've been seeing a lot about this, and I'm sure you probably have too if you're on social media at all, where they talk about these things called deepfakes, where they can take somebody or a video of somebody that's talking and edit it to make the person convincingly say whatever they want in the video. And this was something that was, it was still highly specialized software. Not a lot of people had access to it. But according to The Verge here, deepfakes are now as simple as typing whatever you want your subject to say. A scarily simple way to create fake videos and misinformation. In the latest example of deepfake technology, researchers have shown off a new software that uses machine learning to let users edit the text transcript of a video to add, delete, or change the words coming right out of somebody's mouth. The work was done by scientists from Stanford University, the Max Planck Institute for Informatics, Princeton University, and Adobe Research, and it shows that our ability to edit what people say in videos and create realistic fakes is becoming easier every day. You can see a number of examples of the system's output, including an edited version of a famous quotation from Apocalypse Now with the line, "I love the smell of napalm in the morning," changed to, "I love the smell of French toast in the morning." This work is just at the research stage right now and isn't available as consumer software, but it probably won't be long until similar services go public. Adobe, for example, has already shared details on prototype software named Voco, which lets users edit recordings of speech as easily as a picture, and which was used in this research. This is some scary ass shit. I mean, holy crap. Okay, so here's the thing, right, folks? You're going to have to stop, you're just going to have to stop believing pretty much anything you see on the internet or on TV, unless you saw it yourself. And even if you did see it yourself, we're quickly and rapidly approaching the place where you might not want to believe half of that shit either. But, welcome to a brave new world. This is insane stuff. So, kind of wrap this up here. Something a lot more lighthearted. This is from Unilad. California City elects Golden Retriever as mayor for life. Usually, the hopeful candidate must meet a state-specific list of requirements and deadlines known as ballot access laws. These include being nominated by a recognized political party, which is bullshit, or running as an independent candidate as long as you petition to get your name on the general election ballot. On the other hand, you could just get your family to pay $20,000 for you to be mayor and be a dog, which is exactly what happened in the town of Idlewild in Southern California. Yep, I said that right. A town whose mayor is a golden retriever named Maximus Mighty Dog Mueller II. Mayor Max II has been mayor since 2014, but is actually the second dog to hold the highly coveted position, which was previously held by his predecessor, Mayor Max I, from 2012. The highly sensible decision to let a dog be mayor, I can't imagine many people objected, other than a few cats perhaps, came about when nonprofit organization Idlewild Animal Rescue Friends ran a sponsored election for the non-incorporated town. Any resident could nominate and campaign for their pets and constituents if they paid $1 donation for with their vote. Major Max's chief of staff, Phyllis Mueller, went above and beyond, though. Max was up against 13 other dogs and 2 cats, but Phyllis and her husband campaigned hard throughout the town to get Max the mayorship. They also wrote a $20,000 check, which probably helped a fair bit, too. But Max was rather an old dog when he took office and sadly passed away 2 years later. Phyllis, however, knew she'd found a worthy predecessor when she met Max II, as he apparently looked right at the camera and posed when they met. That's all you need to be a politician, right? At just 11 weeks old, Max II was fairly young to be a politician, but as he did such a good job of being a great dog, he was soon elected mayor for life. Phyllis added, quote, "When people ask what party they belonged, they would belong to, I always say they would be independent." Well, they're dogs. They don't give a crap. Just pet me, right? The canine mayor and his deputies, 2 other golden retrievers, do their duty by appearing at various events and festivals in the town. They also visit local hospitals and schools, as well as making house calls to those in need. The dogs even have their own fleet of mayor-mobiles with custom license plates and logos. While I wouldn't normally endorse blatant bribery to get into office, I think it's fair to say Max is a politician we can all support. That's kind of cute, right? But if dogs can run a town, but it's unincorporated. Anyway. Fun story, lighthearted, and I would vote for a dog pretty much every time. So that's the show for tonight. Thanks for listening, everyone. Check us out at www.noshitcast.com. It's KNOWSHITCAST.com. Make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons. Leave us a comment. We would love to hear from you. Make sure you give us a rating on iTunes. 5 stars if you please, or 1 if, you're an asshole. If you like what we do, please give us a share. It'd be greatly appreciated, and we'll catch you all next time. Thanks for listening, everybody. Bye, Sickles.